Good morning.
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 Good morning.
Good morning.
I love it. The slow rolling. Between like 8:03, people show up. It's like, what's going on with you guys? What happened to being on time?
I was early. So yeah, I was on time.
Yeah. If you're on time, you're late, and if you're late, you're off.
So early is on time is
Late.
late, and late is unacceptable.
Well,
Late, you should have
what is it? I am the consistency that your time flows around. I am never late nor early because you wait on me.
Sounds like a riddle.
All right. Where's our wins, our celebrations?
I followed up with one new client yesterday, which went immediately to an appointment, which went immediately to a signed agreement.
Nice.
Had a closing yesterday, and I have one this morning.
Way to go, Mr. Trey. What is this, a guys on camera day?
Gotta finish my eyebrows.
Can't forget about the eyebrows.
Good old eyebrows. Where are rates at today?
They're slowly ticking down. I mean, like, depending on who you ask, I think most lenders are like mid sixes, like 6.59 is like the national average. I'm still locking people under six.
I want rates to get fives.
I got my we got my
That'd be a good
client
time.
a 5.9 something a couple of days ago. We had
Yeah.
two lenders fighting. They started off at 6.5. And they just kept dropping it, going back and forth with each other pretty much.
When lenders fight, you win. Sam's like, no, that's not how it works.
I hate that. It's like saying when like listing agents fight, you win.
Right?
Yeah. It's interesting though. I had a client come to me that they thought they were like 20 grand away from getting their dream home, and they're just freaking devastated. They've been pre-approved by another lender, a really big company. I won't mention the name, but nationwide lender. And they're like, man, there's only we get this house. I wonder if there's any way you could just take a second look. We're pretty loyal to a lender. You don't want to leave, but I'm just see if maybe there's something they're missing. And I looked at it, and like the first thing I noticed is, they're 780 FICO, putting 20% down, and like just a perfect file. And this lender had them at 7.375 for their interest rate. I was like, what? So they're making 600 basis points off you. So I looked at it and I was like, yeah, you guys can get 5.99 today with putting less money down. And blew their little minds. And yeah, it's crazy. Loyalty is only worth about, like a point and a half. So I guess I found that out. But it is kind of absurd to me how a lot of lenders are still trying to like make a ton of money off people when the reality is like we're in kind of an affordability crisis. I mean, I want to say it's a crisis per se, but definitely an affordability crunch. And to try and make 600 basis points off a client, um, That's crazy to me. So
That's like 6 times what you should be making, right?
I mean, the reality is like most retail lenders make between like 400 and 500 basis points. Like the company as a whole, when you factor in like the servicing and
Right.
all that stuff. But it's even then, that's a lot of money. And you look at like average price point across the nation, they're making so much money. It's almost criminal. But yeah. Pretty crazy. That's that was like the big motivation, not to go on a soapbox or anything like that, but that was the big motivation for us to create Every Yellow, our AI processing platform that handles a lot of the stuff that they normally say costs so much money to kind of procure. It's for that same reason. I think that mortgages can be done at a fraction of the cost and be done better than most of the retail people are doing right now. So I think that the affordability crisis, I guess. I mean, that's kind of the buzzword right now, but it's solved systemically, not individually. Like we have to look at it as a whole and say, okay, how can we as an industry still do what we do, be compensated for our efforts, make these. I mean, the reality is like whether real estate or mortgage, if you treat this like a 9 to 5, even a 9 to 5, and you put in 40 hours a week of actual work, and I'm not talking about, you know, scrolling on Facebook and looking for clients. I'm talking about actually putting the work in. There is no way that you should not make in the mid 6 figures every single year. There's no way. And if you say there is a way, then I don't know. I would argue on that. But if you treat this as a normal job, you can make a ton of money doing this. So when people do under this like average threshold of volume and they make more money, like more money per client, I don't like that. I think that that you should be paid for your time and paid for your expertise, but in a fair sort of way. I disclose all my clients. I charge 2%, which is probably the higher end of what a lot of other individual loan officers charge. But people, they come to me are happy to pay that because they know what they're getting and it's all fully disclosed. And at the end of the day, they're still getting about 300 basis points cheaper than where they can get anywhere else. I don't know. That was a random tangent, soapbox rant sort of thing. Sorry, guys. Way to start the morning out.
Yeah. Geez, Sam, how dare you tell us how you feel about your compensation and pay?
Now, if only I could get like people to sign agreements. Oh man, that people would take that way too far. But there's this real estate firm up in my neck of the woods. I won't mention their name, but they're like, I feel like this is not disclosed or this is not public, but I feel like their business model is signing agreements with buyers and then never anticipating working with them, just getting a referral fee because they've a signed agreement for a year. I hate that so much. Don't be that guy.
Lenders can do that?
Lenders cannot. It's a real estate firm. Yeah.
Yeah, I dealt with one of those actually just 2 days ago. There was a year-long buyer broker agreement exclusive put in for a buyer, and it on the geographic location it says Arizona, so the entire state for 1 year and 4.5% buyer broker compensation. And they're like, "Well, I've never heard from my agent."
Yeah, there's a firm. Again, I'm not going to mention their name, but they're West Coast. They're pretty prominent, and their whole business model is sitting open houses, and they have a couple like really really good attorneys on their payroll, like full time. That's all they do is you come into open house. Well, I can't really talk to you about the house or do anything with this real estate related unless you sign this. More than happy to walk you through and find other houses for you, and then they don't really hear anything past that point, and they have a year-long agreement for whatever territory they're working in. So, state of Washington, or
That's
Oregon,
one thing California did well is ours max out at 3 months.
Yeah,
And even then, like, it's bullshit because you're there at the open house as a capacity to the seller, and you're able to show the house and give information, just not advise the buyer.
Right.
Man, I wasn't expecting this to turn into an ethics class.
Well, we need to talk about it. We really do need to talk about it because I think a lot of agents don't realize that that's the situation. So educating the masses, educating the community at large is important. The buyer broker or the BBEA or however California calls it, your exclusive agency agreements, they're important because they're contracts. They're agreements between you and the broker you signed with for a determined amount of time. And we need to be able to communicate around how to help clients past that. Now, I personally hate buyer broker agreements and forcing their hand to work with you, but I like to earn the right to work with someone. But is there a way out of it? It's about knowing how to do all that.
I leverage it as a value add. I bump into people all the time, especially leads from like realtor.com or something. They're like, oh yeah, this realtor showed me this house. They didn't ask me to sign anything. I'm like, great. They're risking their license to show you a house. I said, I'm excited to work for you. I'm not that excited. I said, if they're gonna bend the rules in that regard, well, what did I do?
Yeah, what?
My mirror? I don't have a mirror.
No, it looked like a mirror behind you, but when you moved your head perfectly, Jim, the framing of your picture behind you framed Eric perfectly.
What?
But all right, we're 13 minutes into a slow rolling Friday. What questions or situations do you have that Sam can work through that are focused around financing? Oh, I have a question for you. I wrote down. Sam, have you ever heard of an MCC form that actual first-time buyers can send in every year and get a $2,000 tax credit?
So the MCC form was an Obama era tax write-off where they would basically take the tax write-offs of the first 2 years of ownership and roll that into a closing cost credit at closing. So you kind of forego the 2 years deferment and have it all at closing. But to my knowledge, those are gone away. They were talking about bringing them back. But I don't think it ever passed. That's a Congress thing. But let me do some more research. Honestly, it's been out of my periphery for so long that I haven't paid attention. But I remember the last one that I did, I believe was in like 2011. But yeah, they were super popular. I mean, for first-time homebuyers, I think the most ever did was like $22,000 at closing. They could use towards their closing cost credits and whatnot.
It's huge. Yeah. And the agent yesterday told me that she's got a new build that she put under contract, and the lender got her a first-time home buyer down payment. She is a true first-time home buyer. And they're giving her this MCC thing, but it's not capped at 2 years. They said as long as she lives in the house, she gets to submit it and get $2,000 back as a credit on her taxes every year.
What is
And
this?
that actually
MCC
changed
thing?
their.
The mortgage credit certificate. So it looks like
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't know what we were talking about.
No, it's okay.
no. I'm
I
just
down because I'd never heard it either. I was like, that's actually a really good question for Sam.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so there are states where it is still available that if they're under like the median nationwide. So Texas, North Carolina, Michigan, Arizona. Let's see, there's a bunch of other ones here.
Because you guys are in Washington and make too much money, you can't get them.
I guess I freaking hate the state.
Rich.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
It's like northern North California.
Yeah.
It is. It's extended North California.
But basically, the money that you would save or be able to write off in interest on your mortgage every single year at a max of $2,000 is applied towards your closing costs. So it allows. I mean that's a huge deal. It allows for a first-time home buyer to come in with less money and potentially use some money to buy the rate down. Obviously, there's that's like a 6 of one, half dozen the other sort of thing, because the lower the rate is, the less you're going to pay, the less you're going to get back in paid interest. But yeah, to some certain extent, to can make a ton of sense.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The other thing is they were able to use their lender, which I thought of, hey, maybe we can get Sam in on this, because they were offering a down payment program that the builder wasn't able to match. So
Interesting.
I
Okay.
thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll look into what it would take. It's just through the state agencies, so I'm sure I'd have access to it.
Yeah.
That could be
One of the things I was thinking about is how many of us are going out and targeting first-time home buyers? One? Okay. Isn't that the most exciting pool of people to talk to? So why aren't we all going after it? I thought about this yesterday. I actually kicked myself, and last night I sat down with the computer and I wrote a blog for the Big Rock Realty Group's website about first-time home buyers, and maybe the new builds are the code for that. But we're going to go into more conversations around that for first-time home buyers, because who needs the most guidance? Move up or move down buyers or first-time home buyers?
Definitely first time home buyers.
And I look at it this way: is that becomes someone that we can build a relationship with for life. So if I go to find a new home buyer and I'm like, hey, Sam, meet Angie. Angie's a new home buyer. This is the first time. She just graduated college, blah, blah, blah. And Sam and her make a great connection and knock it out of the park. And Angie loves me and we buy a house, boom. And I stay in contact with Angie. Then when Angie goes to sell that house and buy the next house, Sam and I are still involved. Versus like, I went to Rocket Mortgage. If you guys don't know, I freaking hate Rocket Mortgage.
oh
You haven't worked with Zillow Mortgage yet.
I have.
Yeah, you're forced to, Eric. But I think that's a great conversation. And I'm glad I wrote down that note. I was like, that could open up buyers to being able to buy houses, especially if you can stay with a traditional lender and not a captive MCA MSA like a builder. Then you can create long-term relationships, because I'll tell you, builder lenders, you're not creating a relationship. It's just transactional. Slam them in, get them done. They don't care about your dog. I would much rather be able to stay with someone I trust. I've never, ever, in the countless new builds I've done, to the builder's lender. They've never called and given me an update. They never called and, hey, thanks so much for the business. Let's do it again sometime. No, never. That's not relationships. That's transactional. That's short term. No, thank you. You can't build exponential growth through transactional thinking. So we turned it from an ethics call to a relationship call, Sam. There you go. I turned it around for you.
yeah, I love it.
A potential
Yes.
violation to a potential violation. Let's turn this conversation into a confrontation.
I've worked with plenty of first-time home buyers, and I definitely prefer working with them. But how do you target first-time home buyers? Like, what's the method behind that?
Right.
Hey, Trey,
Or like
I
marketing
call-
or what?
I call and door knock apartment complexes.
Seminars.
But door knock apartment. Oh, gotcha.
You know what was ended up being like kind of a hidden gem for first time homebuyers for me for a lead source?
Facebook.
Well, Facebook, yeah, Facebook groups, like rental groups. So like if you look up, I don't know, your local area, the county, and look up houses for rent or something like that, those can be amazing groups. Or if you don't have one, create one. Create whatever county homes for rent and just add a bunch of listings in there. That can be a great resource. But I've closed like 9 loans this year off of people that have inquired about my rentals. They come in, they look at the house, whatever. I've kind of asked questions and dig into it and find out that, hey, 9 of these people are actually looking for a house. They just haven't found one. And so they're deciding to rent. I'm like, well, wait, let me help you. I ended up finding my house. So another added benefit to getting into real estate investing. But no, the Facebook groups are really, really good for that.
Gotcha.
There's also I need to get better at this. If any one of you want to do this, we'd have to do it religiously, but it's honestly been the best like resources for me. But doing like live or recorded webinar seminars on home buyers, and where you can, I've had a before the past like a lead funnel where they can go on and answer questions, ask questions. We answer questions about the home buying process. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, you think about, not to go another tangent here, but what we're actually selling, we're not selling houses, we're not selling interest rates. We are selling trust and certainty, right? And so if you kind of understand it and look through our job through that lens, it totally changes the focus on how you approach that interaction, right, or that relationship. If you really go about this trying to sell trust and certainty, you come at it from less of a sales approach and like look at the options and all this stuff, and more of like, let me educate you and teach you on what might be the best possible solution for you. And doing that in a class format is huge. I have yet to see someone really take advantage of. You guys heard of School? It's online. I'll throw it in the chat so you can look it up later on. It's the best video. It's online. I don't know what this is. I guess it's like a social media app, maybe, but it's all catered towards like nuanced fields. So like if you want to get into woodworking, you can go into like there's a woodworking tab in School, and there's people that teach classes on how to carve things with a pocket knife to crazy stuff. But there's so many different categories in there, and it's growing as a platform, just like a learning platform. But I haven't really seen anyone use that for mortgage or real estate and really attack it from that perspective. But yeah, not to go on a tangent, but going on to acquiring clients through education, I think is the best way to attract first-time home buyers. More than anything, humans, we are afraid of the unknown. And a lot of times we will be paralyzed by our fear of the unknown and not make a decision. And so we're more than likely going to repeat a habit that we know is not good for us, but we know what it entails, than we are to jump into a new scenario that we don't understand. And that is honestly something that plagues, I would say, the majority of first-time home buyers. Everywhere in the media, they're told that we're in a financial, or we're in a affordability crisis, that wages have not caught up with the inflation of home values, and there's all this data and information that they're getting bombarded with, that's saying basically you can't buy a house. It doesn't work for you. And if we can kind of help disrupt that that thought process or that stored memory, and show them that they actually can, and here's how, I feel like that's a really good way to create some lasting clients.
There's a lot of random stuff on this website, Sam.
I know.
Phil Daru's private community for training, mindset, and discipline. Make your life better with just $1 a month. I trust it. That guy looks. He's got big arms and tattoos. He must be successful.
Dude, I made mozzarella cheese off a video I watched on that website. It was amazing.
Yeah, you could just get that shit on YouTube. I know how to make mozzarella cheese just by the fact of mozzarella cheese.
Yeah.
You need whole milk and lots of energy.
The point is, okay, so whatever, School is a bit,
it's a lot of stuff.
But yeah, but taking the education approach, I think, is the best way to kind of like create those relationships. And hold me, text this person. Sorry, guys.
I would rather have a salesperson with the heart of a teacher than anything else, right? That is the best thing, is people trust when you're trying to educate them into a decision, not talk them into a decision.
100%.
That's where you're going to win. It's when you're there for people and you're showing up in a manner that it's like, you know what? I want you to learn and make a good decision. You guys have all heard me say this. I'm here to make sure that you have all the information you need to make a well-informed decision. And if you choose to make a bad decision, you're going to make a well-informed bad decision. I did that just this weekend. Someone sent me a non-AAR contract that came from an investor that's a bastardized subject to land contract with a 50% down and 5-year note secured by an equity state in an LLC, not even the property. And I was all, this has red flags all over it. This is my advice. Go talk to an attorney. And if you still want to make the offer, if you still want to take the offer, great. I'm just letting you know, I don't think it's a good idea. And then they called me up, said, you know what? I talked to my attorney. They said, well, there's some red flags, but I'm okay with the risks. I'm like, great. So you are, in fact, making a well-informed bad decision. The heart of a teacher, my friends. That's where you're really going to win, is just guiding people through it. Go back to that 1,000-watt survey, right? What was the number one word that most people associated to their real estate agent? You guys remember?
Advisor.
Advisor.
Yeah.
Advisor, right? You advised me on real estate. Sam is our financial advisor for mortgages and farming goods. Right? How'd your horsing go? Did you get that calving done?
Oh yeah, yep. 2 bulls and 2 heifers.
Man, it's a good thing you put an S in that sentence.
So,
I would, okay, we got 2 minutes left. I just had an idea pop up, but would be kind of fun, and I'd love to do this with you guys. Anyone who wants to, I need someone who is gonna like commit to doing it with me, but let's do some homebuyer seminars where we create a funnel and answer questions, and I can help out with getting the marketing and all that stuff. And let's
I'm all for it.
Let's go, Eric.
Yeah, you know I'm game.
We'll
I
do
still haven't done the NMLS stuff yet, but I need to.
bro. For sure do that. Yeah.
Man, we'll talk about that next Friday. That'd be a good one.
Yep, I'm down. Isn't next weekend is the July 4th?
Or July.
I won't be available next weekend, so
Oh, even better.
I love you. I'm coming to your house, Jim.
Let's go.
well, good. Guys, thank you for being engaged. So I also want to share something this morning. Mikey, can I share it? Can I share it, Mikey?
Mikey just dipped.
Mikey's all, fuck you guys, I'm out.
8:30.
You know what that means? You know what that means? Mikey can't say no. Just take a look at this flyer, little trifold flyer.
I love those.
That is fancy.
Whoop.
Oh yeah,
We just got a sneak peek. That's all. Let's get a sneak
showing you the
peek.
second one. Right?
Oh yeah, that's clean.
Are you doing that from like what is that? American First or something like that?
No, this was made in ChatGPT.
I smelled ChatGPT on that.
With this, I mean, it looks great. It's clean, but it gave me the idea to take it and make it my branding style. Like, I love that, Mikey. It's good stuff, but like, it doesn't have the electric pop that Big Rock does. Because we have more aggressive graphics like this. So, guys, AI is there to make your world easy. Use it. You know who else is there to make your world easy? He's handsome. He's got a red beard and 2 thumbs. His name is Sam. So, guys, let's get some buyers over to Sam because I know he's going to turn their lives into great ownership opportunities. He's going to look into the MCC for us. He's going to look into first-time home buyer programs, some down payment assistance options, some things to help you move the needle. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. That's all you can do. He pours into you every week. Pour into him. Sound good? He's in
Great.
our group chat. So if you need anything, throw it in the group chat.